right, guys, we kind of mentioned it in the last podcast we did where we were talking about how there was basically two slates condensed into 1 week. So we're in that stretch right now. So this review show will be short on the review because we'll actually talk a lot of the Thanksgiving slate. And because it's a 3-game slate, I don't want to just give you guys a lineup. So we're actually going to go with our cage match theory. If you guys were with us last year, you'll see what we mean where we can't take the same players. That allows us to talk about game environments and talk about the plays that we really like. And then you guys can hopefully incorporate that in your own lineups. Being only 3 games, though, I feel like that's a better way to go about it because it allows you to get the players you really like and then kind of build around it. But we'll get to that in a minute. We did want to give you a quick review just for transparency purposes. Obviously, I know that most people are going to even move on very quickly right to Thanksgiving because they got Thanksgiving and then the Sunday slate, I think 9 or 8 games on Sundays. So I understand these reviews aren't going to be as valuable. So we're going to try to speed run them a bit tonight. But I wanted to show that to you because this week especially, it was a very high-scoring week where you could almost score 200 points and not cash. I had that happen multiple times this week. Obviously, there was a lot of had-to-have kind of scores. JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Gibbs and St. Brown, they all put up like pretty historic performances. I think Gibbs had the highest DraftKings score of all time, actually. So I'll bring in Donnie.
I definitely have seen Tyreek have like 60-point days. It was close. He's definitely got a top 5 score.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was historic because the last
Tyreek's never hit 60. But what a day! What a day it was for Jameer. I had 0 Jameer Gibbs. I want to preference that. I had 0 Jameer. I had 0 Monra. I had J-Mo. Not a great look for me.
J-Mo. Yeah, with the big ass O, with the 0.
J-Mo.0.
Mr. Donut himself. I think he's done that twice in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like 17 and 18 and 20-point games and 2 donuts.
It's kind of what he is the definition. If you looked at a DFS definition.
Gabe Davis did this for Buffalo a couple of years ago where he would just have like a 20-point game and then just, be Gabe Davis and irrelevant for a few games.
Shout out Gabe Davis who helped me cash in my Thursday game this past week, by the way.
The GOAT of Gabe Davis.
The GOAT!
No. The thing was, me and Donnie often talk at like the 4 o'clock slate. And I'm like, you know what, Donnie? I had some JMO, but, I was all over the Lions. So I should be perfectly fine. I have Jameer Gibbs in almost all my lineups. I had even a lineup that had Wilson, Gibbs, and St. Brown in it. I'm like, the fact that I was all over this game environment, I'll take the 0 with JMO. I actually didn't cash a single lineup. Luckily, I did make a good amount of profit because I had some touchdown props and things like that. So I did capitalize on the Gibbs props because I had him for rushing and receiving and actually made profit. It was just funny that I just didn't cash on anything, even though I had Gibbs, even though I had St. Brown and Wilson all in a lineup. It was a very high-scoring week. Donnie, you didn't catch a single one either. You were but you didn't play any Gibbs. Like, I'm telling you.
No, I scored 140 and didn't cash because I had no Gibbs, obviously.
I was all around the cash line, though. I had a ton of Gibbs, so I think it's even worse to have as much Gibbs as I had and not cash.
I agree.
Yeah, because everyone's like, well, you had the historic performance. I'm like, yeah, I did. Even this lineup, we talked about the John Mechie switch. Maybe some of you did that switch and you would have cashed easily if you did. The John Mechie to ADM Mitchell, which could have been Mitchell at some points. Mitchell definitely had some deep targets in this game. I'm actually mad at myself because I had 2 lineups with Jets receivers, and I should have probably split it between 80 and John Mechie, and I didn't do it. And so it's oftentimes what we talk about with the Tampa Bay wide receivers where it's like when there's 2 good receivers and you don't know which one to go with, getting some exposure to both of them probably is the answer. And maybe I should have done that because there was only like 100 point difference. Outside of that, though, I mean, I'll just say the elephant in the room and then pass it over to you guys. Kamara getting hurt really tanked this lineup. I think if Kamara stays healthy and even gets a baseline, we probably cash, but that's part of the game. I didn't see anything wrong with this lineup outside of the injury with Kamara, though. I just think that's the unlucky variant here.
To be honest, like if this was my lineup and I had lineups like this, once I had the Jacob snooze, my Kamara became a lot of Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah.
And just doing that turns this into a 30-point man. And now you have a near 200-point lineup that cashes easy. I bet this is right on the cash line, right?
Yeah, it's very close to the cash line.
Like 175 was the cash line. So you're only like 2 points off.
2 points off.
Like literally any other player, a Ramondre, any other cheap running back in Kamara, or going to Emmanuel Wilson, who would have been chalk, but we were different enough in this lineup. We could have eaten another chalk running back.
I mean, a week where you have one of the highest yardage games in history. I mean, the Lions-Giants had over 1,000 yards, and you have parts of that game, good parts of that game, you don't cash, is going to be unlucky. Obviously, I don't know if you've shown it yet, Logan, where you had Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs in the same lineup and don't cash. That's like, so, my God, how unlucky could you be?
I'll show that one just for transparency purposes as well. That actually scored less than our lineup combined. It scored like 169.
For reference, a little over 1,100 yards is the record for yards in a game, and this was, I mean, pretty close to it.
Well, you talked about playing Wilson instead of Kamara. I did exactly that, and so it's funny that Donnie brought it up because I did exactly that with the Kamara lineup and still didn't cash. Obviously, I probably should have played Sanders naked in this lineup and just been like, Sanders, if basically play it as he's the cheap guy. You only need him to get the baseline, and so double stacking it was too cute there. Because if it's anyone else, I probably am fine. But
CD really is what killed this lineup for the most part. Like, that's how you cannot predict CD to continue to have bad games.
Because he had 8 drops, Donnie. That's the disappointing part. It wasn't like he had a bad game. Like that, the bad game was completely on him because Dak got him the ball. Even
he
if
should have had a touchdown catch, a blatant touchdown that he dropped. I think he had 2 total drops the whole game. Like official just flat drops, awful.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like statistically they were outside of his reach. I'm talking like 2 or 3 catches easily in the breadbasket would have been like 10. 12 points, swings. Because
one was a touchdown. I mean, one was a blatant touchdown.
Exactly. So we'll go back to our line, but was there anything you saw that was just like disappointing? Because I think Donnie hit on it with CeeDee Lamb. I want to keep playing CeeDee Lamb, but these drops are getting pretty nasty. And I think he's really talented, but man, the drops.
I don't know. I think he can fix the drops, and like the offense will keep going with Pickens and everything else But if Pickens isn't healthy, they'll need Lamb to be a 15 catch a game guy.
Yeah, I would say I'd rather play CeeDee Lamb than Justin Jefferson the rest of the year. Like if I had to pick one of the superstars to kind of turn it around, given the quarterback play in Minnesota, I think I trust that Cowboys offense better. But the CeeDee Lamb's drops have been disgusting. I thought we were on the line, but these are best ball teams. Let me just pull this up, and then I'll ask you the same question, Donnie. Is there anything you wanted to mention from your own lineups, from this lineup? I really think it was just the Kamara lineup.
You know what? For me, I was just like, I had a week where I didn't play the chalky running backs, and the chalky running backs scored 58 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the one place I'm always willing to eat chalk is at running back.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Know, but I'm fine with
willing
saying
to play a chalk player, it's gonna be a running back.
I'm fine with saying I was just wrong. I didn't want to play Jahmyr Gibbs at that price, and I overslept and didn't get the switch for the Wilson change. So
once I heard Jacobs was out, Wilson became a play, and he just became the best 5K running back. Like, I still had Ramondre
and I played a 5K
and
running
other
back
guys in that range, but he became my favorite play. I knew he was chalk, but it's like, this is just a great play. I even took him in the single stat contest and got 2 touchdowns, so I was tied for first place in that Larceny Bourbon single stat contest.
Yeah, I meant to do the same thing, funny enough, and I thought I had hit. I was typing Williams really quick to make that change, and I didn't realize I had switched to Jamison Williams and not Wilson because I was typing so fast. But so I probably wouldn't have cashed anyways.
You needed Gibbs, and then there was a plethora of dudes who had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I had Gibbs, Henry, and Wilson.
The greatest touchdown of our lives happened with the Jameis Winston mossing a linebacker.
Jameis Winston is GOAT. Jameis Winston is what football – like, Jameis Winston is what football needs.
Let me
there are 2 types of quarterbacks that we need in the NFL.
Yeah.
One is Matthew Stafford, and one is Jameis Winston. And we need, like, 3 of those dudes in the league. Really, like, on each side. Like, 3 Jameis Winstons and 3 Matthew Staffords in the league will be better.
Yeah, they really are.
True masters and true whatevers.
Yeah, gunslingers to the max.
Leaders.
Let me tell you,
Gunnar. Hey, shout out to the Patriots fan favorite Gunnar Olszewski with a touchdown pass. The most ugly throw I've seen in my life that led to a 33-yard touchdown.
You know what's even more embarrassing, and we'll move on to the lineup, is that linebacker that Jameis juked out of his shoes and just made like silly is actually really athletic. His name is Barnes. He's really actually good. He usually takes great pursuit angles. That's why it's more embarrassing. Like, usually he's like our speed guy. He's like the cleanup guy. He makes up a lot with his speed. And then he just gets fooled by like the slowest player on the field. That's the
What's annoying? What's annoying about that is he did the hard part. He figured out the trick play was going to the quarterback.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's uber athletic. I mean, you think if there was anything about that player that would get fooled, it'd be his awareness, or maybe he would just get overzealous. No, he got fooled on what he's actually good at, which is athleticism. So it just made no sense.
He's go over the spread picks real quick.
Yeah, real quick spreads. I mean, hey, I'm feeling good. We keep gaining ground, Logan. I'll say that. Most importantly,
I am probably not getting
some.
Yeah, I'll say it right now. I am probably not getting to pick the captain this year in our Super Bowl showdown.
I was going to say, what's more likely, you win or the Chiefs, because the percentages might be similar.
Somehow, some way, we did not jinx Shador. We are back in the win column with our lock. It's great. It's great to finally be back.
It took Sanders to get us in a winning streak. Oh, I told you.
Shudder. It's because I did the celebration on stream. It's because I hit the shudder.
Oh yeah.
I still can't believe still can't believe our offense played that badly and we couldn't run the ball. Like, J.C. Horn is a monster. We get absolutely no pressure and no sacks. Yet we still intercepted Purdy all the time because we're just that good of a secondary. And we still
I bet the over. As soon as I saw all those interceptions, I bet the over go, because I'm like, if they're actually generating this much defensive turnover, this has got to be a good thing for the offense, and it just wasn't.
And we just couldn't run the ball. Well, I mean, we didn't run the ball. Like, Rico had 6 rushes. Chuba, I forgot to see how many rushes Chuba had, but I know I saw him on the field more.
Not enough.
He had a lot of dump offs, like a lot of theoretic type.
That's what I'm saying. Like Chuba had 6 or 7 touches, and Rico had 6 or 7 touches, and we just didn't run the ball in this game like we should. And
especially when you generate turnovers.
It's one thing for us to try to run the ball, and you're stuffing us, and now Bryce Young has to win one-on-ones outside. But when we're just not running the ball, Bryce Young now has to throw into weird windows and not win one-on-ones, and no quarterback is great at doing that or perfect at it.
But yeah, no, Lock of the week's 4-8, stays alive, 500 in play. Gov down to 9-15 overall. Great to see. And me and Logan still tied up at 13-11. I mean, we're having a great old time, Logan.
I will say this.
It's good to be on top.
I always say it gives us a bit of a handicap, but it's very hard to pick the games this late in the week. We pick them on Friday or Saturday. It's very late in the week. I would challenge anyone to actually do this alongside us, and I think you would realize and you would appreciate, I think, Vegas a lot more. These spreads are hard to beat this late in the week, especially.
Yeah. I don't challenge you to bet it at the worst time of the week. I'm not doing it.
No, but I'm saying, like, I think a lot of people just assume we'd have a lot more green on the board. I actually think our record's pretty good considering, how hard it is. Maybe not our show pick. Our show pick.
I will ask, do we have any Thanksgiving spreads we want to get in? Because I know we got like a +7 from the Bears on Friday. We do have other ones that are interesting-ish. If we want to put one of those in, try to get a bigger chance of going 500.
I haven't even looked at the spreads for Thanksgiving.
Other stuff. Lions Packers is -2.5, favorite Lions, obviously. Cowboys are underdogs to the Chiefs at 3.5. Ravens are favored by 7, and the Eagles are favored by 7. And I kind of like the Bears at 7, but
I would say that my favorite dog is the Bears. Now, a lot of people. And I try not to be biased about the Lions, but a lot of people like the Packers as dogs. I know that game was 3, and it got bet down to 2.5. So people are betting it for sure.
So, Gov, if you say you like the +7 Bears, we'll put it on the list. If not, we'll not do one. Because that's kind of, if you don't like a spread, you shouldn't just bet it, obviously. And I think we kind of don't say that.
You guys know for a fact that I'm in the background trying to get ready to do this cage match. I honestly had not looked at the slate. I was planning on doing this tomorrow. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Let me see.
While we look at the cage match, by the way, they for some reason Dallas is listed as outdoors again. It's in Dallas.
That's just got to be the retractable roof phenomenon. Maybe logistically, maybe legally they have to. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'll switch over to my screen here so we can pull up the cage match. I'll familiarize the people in case they don't know. A cage match basically is just a draft where you basically can't take the same players. We can't duplicate the same players. So we actually have to manually, keep track of the players that have been drafted. But this is basically like a snake-style draft that you would have with your buddies in any kind of league format. Obviously, the trick in here is that we can't take them twice. So it does add some more game theory to it. There was some thought process that they were actually going to make this a thing in some DFS formats, but they haven't done it yet. I do think it would do very well if they would make this an actual format for daily fantasy. I just think logistically it's hard. It is a lot of fun, though. So we'll try to give you something unique to look at. And obviously, this way we can talk about our favorite game environments, some of our favorite picks and stuff like that. That way we're not just producing a lineup. Because, we're early in the week. It's a Tuesday night. Obviously you should pay attention to injury reports and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Gov mentioned he's not even fully researched. So, how are we going to give you a lineup and guarantee, this is a good lineup? We just can't.
Well, we're talking about injuries. I do remember our biggest rule for injuries has always been if one of your players is deemed out, you can go down to another player on that same team. But it has to be the same or a lower price on the same team. So you can't do a 2v2. That's how we've been doing it.
Okay.
An available player under that price on the same team.
On the same team. That's fine with me. I couldn't remember if it was the same team or just a team.
If you take Burrow, you can still take Flacco.
Yes, if you take Burrow and Burrow says, I'm not going, which he's already posted publicly multiple times, he is playing this week, to be fair. But,
All right. Do we have a random number generator?
Yes, we do. I am going to go with number 66.
42.
Well, then I'm going to go with 27, the day of Thanksgiving.
It is 12.
So I guess it's me, Logan, and Donnie.
Yep.
Yes. And obviously, there's no restrictions on quarterback first pick, as we're just drafting. Pick whatever you want. And it will be the snake form.
I was about to say, Logan has my screen where I can show my draft and my team. He can show his draft and his team. Donnie, unfortunately, is not at a computer to show his, but we will be able to show them when we review them after Thanksgiving.
Exactly. So if you could read your team out at the end, Donnie, that'd be nice. Well,
yep.
Or I can just screenshot on my Twitter as well.
Okay. Well, I am going to not take a quarterback first. Because what I want is the big dog as my first pick.
Yeah, that's a very good pick.
That's a solid one.
Especially with Lamar Jackson not running as much. So, I mean, it's been
especially with Cincinnati just being such a freaking run funnel. Like, you've been able to stream running backs against Cincinnati for a couple weeks now.
Well, we even saw, like, it was obvious that Lamar Jackson didn't want to run. There was a couple times he actually did take off in that game, Gov, and you could just tell, like, he almost wanted an attack. Like, he was like, I'm going to pick up the 5 yards and just slide out of bounds. And even late in that game, he threw a couple passes to Henry, which is not usually common. That's not usually in the Lamar Jackson playbook. And the fact that he did it told me, like, oh, yeah, it's just a better play.
All right, Logan, you can bring up your screen. Who are you going to draft?
Yeah, no surprise here. It'll seem like a homer pick, or it could just be the best player on the slate. Give me Jameer Gibbs. I think I talked to Donnie about this. There's just not a game script where Gibbs is not involved. I think the only way Gibbs doesn't get the workload to actually pay off would be if he gets hurt.
Yeah,
like, that's the only. I mean, if they fail, it's like a very, very bad blowout. Like he's involved in the passing game. He's involved if they're winning the game. I just want all of that volume. Donnie, you were gonna say?
Yeah, I got the snake back to back, and I mean I know how it's been, blah blah blah, falling for grace a little bit, but I gotta just go ahead and take the guy that everyone's gonna want if he slides another pick. Give me CD.
Mm-hmm.
CD Lamb, followed by.
I'll bring up. I was gonna say I'll bring up your picks here. This way.
CD. Do we have any Jacobs news? Period. Probably not.
We don't for sure, but it seems like he's going to play. It seems like if they were playing the Lions Sunday, I think he would have played. I think this is just a rest to make sure he was ready for the divisional.
Yeah, that makes sense. But while I talk about that, I don't want to take one, but I got to take a running back considering what you guys have taken. Give me Kareem Hunt.
Oh, that was the other running back I was going to take. Oh, God, fuck you. Oh, God. Oh, I hate the cage match. Son of a bitch. Oh.
Again, I'll flash down these players of the player cards, and that's how we'll have to keep track of him for now visually.
Kareem Hunt and CeeDee Lamb as his first two picks. Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. It's back to me, isn't it?
Yes.
Give me St. Brown.
Damn it. And that was the other pay-up receiver I was going to take.
He's actually
okay.
He actually has a lot more drops recently than you would expect. So he's obviously still a really good player, and he's left some points on the field. I feel like him and Jared are like really upset at how the offense has been the last few weeks, and I feel like that explosion, that security game is coming where he's just going to get peppered with targets, and he's already a really good receiver.
There you go. Give us your next two, buddy.
All right, so no CD. You fucker took my dude. All right.
You know you upset him down when he used colorful language. I told you.
I did it to him twice. That's why.
Those were both good-looking plays. I will give you that. Okay, let's see.
I will say third is the worst pick. I feel like you just missed out on some superstars, Donnie.
All right, we're gonna do it. I have the snake. Chase Burrow.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
No Higgins, Chase Burrow.
Yep.
All right. I think you see what game I like on this slate. I'll admit, I could have easily gone, I don't want to do Flowers. I don't want to do Lamar. I'll take the dog in Cincinnati, honestly.
It's interesting to me. He called him his flag plant, and we haven't drafted him yet. I'm not about to draft him now, but Donnie, it's going back to you. What do you want to do here?
No,
it's yours, Logan.
Is it mine?
Yeah, you're the middleman. So I got 3. Donnie's got 2. Get your third guy.
Okay, I'll just take my quarterback. Give me Jared Goff.
Yeah, Goff makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense with the stack. I got you guys probably weren't going to take it, but I'm not going to risk it.
Well, it's funny because in this cage match, you leave your guy on the board too long, and somebody can break your stack. Now, I don't need to take quarterback to last pick because you guys already got
now that you've taken a quarterback, you just gave Donnie the board. He doesn't have to take a quarterback until whenever the hell he wants.
That's huge for me.
That is a true point. I could have waited, but I just wanted to lock the stack up.
Goff was not on my radar.
I was about to say, you already have Gibbs and St. Brown. You might as well lock up Goff.
Right. Maybe I should have chosen.
Someone could go Goff, J-Mo, right, Monty or something.
So maybe it was a bad timing then, but I just want to make sure I locked it up.
No, it makes sense to lock up your guy. If you feel like you got your guy, you got to lock him up. I agree. Against Dallas.
There was another way I was going to go on this, but we'll see.
Yeah. Give me Rashi. We're all going one specific game, by the way.
So you don't think Rashi is hurt? Like, does that worry you at all? I know he's off.
He had 12 targets last week.
Yeah, so I put him in my island. I was going to pull the player card. He did it, but he came off limping in that game a bit. So I just wondered what you thought of the injury. He's obviously
full practice on Tuesday. Full practice.
You got to show your screen, Logan. You're still on mine.
Oh, I am. Good.
I'm not worried because he had that full practice. And then.
So you took Rice.
Took Lamb. We took Hunt.
And yeah, I'm gonna
we all sort of starting to stack a specific game.
Yeah. Hey, targeting the Dallas defense this season has been a good strategy overall. I think a lot of people think that's going to be.
With your 4th pick, are you going to take Mahomes?
No, I'm going to take Mike Gesicki. I'm going to eat into your. I'm eating into your Burrow. I love Mike Gesicki. I've taken so many. I have taken so much Gesicki over the past 2 years. It is insane. All right, Logan. What do you got, buddy?
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
So he took his tight end. He can still take another, but he took his tight end. Okay.
I'm gonna take Williams.
Javonte.
Yep.
Ooh. Spicy.
Yep.
Okay.
I think they might be sick of the drops from CeeDee Lamb. They might just be like, you know what, we're going to. I know Casey's been a pass funnel, so maybe they'll get him involved in the screen. But I feel like Williams is going to have a big Thanksgiving game. I know Ezekiel Elliott used to have big Thanksgiving games for the Cowboys. I could see Williams being a had to have it kind of player for Thanksgiving.
Okay. What's the news on Pickens?
The problem with Kelsey for me is
Pickens is expected to play. That's how it's looking anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a ceiling on Kelsey. I think the only way he gets there as a tight end is he scores a touchdown. Maybe tight end's the way you get different.
He had 13 targets recently. I know that. It was 6 and 13 weeks ago. So he's been getting the work.
And there's not a whole lot of tight ends that are just going to beat you with speed. Like Ferguson's kind of the same as Kelsey. He's more of a volume tight end. So this is a week where Kelsey could win you a slate for sure.
All right. It's my pick now?
Yes.
That's correct.
All right, and I get 2. All right, I think I'm going to lock in my VAP. This is rough because I kind of want to grab the studs, but I don't know if the value guys are going to be there. So I kind of want to grab the value guys, but if I don't get the right studs, it probably is not worth it. So, I hate this cage match bullshit on a short.
I'm going to pull up a guy that I think you'll be taking relatively soon. He mentioned him. It is interesting. Pickens has outscored CeeDee Lamb a lot in terms of usage, in terms of just looking better. But CeeDee went before Pickens again. I think Pickens is actually more money on this slate than Lamb.
Pickens is 104. Yeah.
So I never thought I'd see the day where Pickens was more than Lamb, and I like both of those wide receivers. But Pickens has definitely earned it this.
All right, I'm just going to grab both value guys.
Okay.
First, Mark Andrews.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to see it.
I love Mark Andrews in a real slate this week. He is going to be in almost all of my lineups this week. I might have one switch where it's likely. I don't see a world where both Baltimore tight ends fail against Cincy, but maybe I'll be wrong.
Could you see a world where both hit?
I could see that world. I could definitely see that world where both
that would be some amazing value if I were to jam that in here.
I think we saw a game already this year where Lamar Jackson threw to 3 tight ends for touchdowns. It was very Aaron Rodgers of him, but it was Collard, Andrews, and Likely, I think, all got usage in that game. I can't remember if they all 3 got touchdowns. I think that might have been the game that Andrews got 2 touchdowns and then Collard got 1. But he definitely likes his tight ends.
All right.
So you had Andrews and who's your second?
Now I'm going to take Travis Kelce.
Yeah. That makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. To your point, I am doing a lot of 2 tight ends, tight end position.
I love 2 tight ends right now. I've been playing so much of it.
Especially in a slate like this, I definitely think that's a valuable strategy.
I do need to switch that, actually. Good point. Earlier game. Click. There we go. All right. It's back to you, Logan. Who's your 5th man?
Okay, I'm gonna get him involved now. It's
and bring up your screen.
Oh yeah.
You're good. The cage match is always a rigmarole like this.
So I want John Fitzpatrick.
Bink is saying the other thing I was going to do if I didn't go with my Burrow stuff.
Was it?
It was. I was debating between a Burrow or a Mahomes onslaught, honestly.
Yeah, I want Fitzpatrick because he's been the blocking tight end for this offense. He's been actually running more snaps recently than Why am I blanking on the tight end's name?
Musgrave.
Yeah,
I didn't
Luke
know about
Musgrave.
that. That seems weird. That seems really strange. But I guess Wilson ran the ball so much last week.
He did, and that's why they're relying on the pass block or the run blocking rather of the tight end. And I think a play like this, you're basically just hoping for a red zone target. You're hoping for that touchdown at that kind of price. So it allows me to save up or save money. I want to make sure I get this value. I think it's the cheapest tight end that's actually possible this week. Obviously, I think Mike. Mike is what, 3,000? So there's some
Mike is
tight ends.
likely's 2.6, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, likely's 2.6. So I don't know what Fitzpatrick is, but
I think he will be low owned, but he could be used in a Detroit Green Bay stack, and that $100 might come valuable for me, especially in a lineup like this.
yeah, cage match. You try to jam in the stars, but you also need to worry about your money, and then lots taken off the board really quickly. I have the next two, and I think I'm going to get my first piece of this game, one of the few pieces we've had in this game, it feels like. Let me get Christian Watson. Give me the big play of Watson ability.
I like it. You're getting it at a cheap value, too, at 4,700. We saw the Lions get beat with a lot of trick plays, with a lot of gadget plays for big yardage with Robinson last week. That's exactly the kind of play that Watson could provide for Green Bay. I think he is clearly the number one. I think there was a lot of potential in him being the number one eventually. I think we're at that point. I don't think it's just potential anymore. I think Watson is like maybe not a good number one, but he's like the Packers' best chance at a number one receiver.
And then I'm going to finish my Gov handcuff off, and I'm going Chase Brown. Give me another piece of that offense that Burrow really likes. If I'm not going to get the passing game, I might as well get that running game.
Sorry, who did you say, Donnie?
Chase Brown.
Okay.
You're not worried about P. Ryan full participant practice on Tuesday?
No, I'm not worried about P. Ryan full participant practice on Tuesday. That is the least of my.
Okay, that's fine. I wouldn't be either. I kind of am a little upset with you for taking
Chase Brown's been
taking all of my sense. Like for a dude who seems to be stacking the Dallas Kansas City game, he's taking a lot of my Cincinnati guys.
But P. Ryan coming back, what does that do for Chase Brown? I know you said you're not worried about it, Donnie, but do you feel like he'll break into him at all?
He'll eat into some snaps, but like somebody's gonna have to eat into Brown's, plays off anyway.
Yeah.
Brown's been hot. You don't take Brown off the field to not let him work in the divisional game. You're playing your best players in the divisional game. That it decides your season. That's just what happens. You go through your stars, man.
I thought of the cheap running back option in my lineup builds, but I just like the two tight end lineups so much more because they're actually getting usage and they're actually getting, like Fitzpatrick, for example, he's getting work in Green Bay. So I don't know if we're taking a gamble, might as well do it on a cheaper guy than like P. Ryan. Gov, it's your pick, right?
No, it's yours.
It's mine again.
Get your sixth guy first.
All right. All right. Let's see. Let me do it. Let me get likely.
I don't think you'll need that much money.
Maybe not.
I mean, if you were building a normal lineup and not a cage match, yes, you would need that much money to jam in everybody.
Yeah.
You might not have the places to do that, though.
I might not. We'll see. I'm leaving myself open in case it's available. Because even if I leave salary on the table, all I got to do is beat you guys. This lineup will be different enough to do that. if it works.
All right. So it's my move.
Yeah, let me get over to your line.
Yeah, next two for you.
All right. Well, let's just get my pieces that I want. So first things first, I'm going to do the crazy one. Give me the Detroit defense.
No! Somebody finally got my thing. I hate you.
Yes, inflict pain in the cage. Finally, I have the steel chair now. All right, that makes me feel a little better about it. Okay, now let me get George Pickens.
Yeah.
That's the play I was wondering if you guys were going to leave me.
All right. I think I know how I can finish my lineup if you guys leave me. Yeah, we'll see what you guys leave me. So, Logan, you get a pick. You have 2 players left. You're going to get a pick. Then Donnie gets his finished lineup, and then I get a pick.
Mm-hmm.
You need 2 wide receivers.
I do.
Donnie, what's left in your lineup? You need a defense and...
He needs a defense.
I need a defense.
I was going to say, why do you have the Lions defense, Logan? Did you take that already and I didn't realize?
No. I put it in there.
I need a quarterback, a flex, and a defense. That's what I'm down to. I
keep thinking I can switch to Donnie's lineup, and then I can't. But then sometimes I still plug it into my old lineup. It's a whole thing.
It's all good.
It's my pick now, right?
Yep.
So I would have taken
defense. You just can't take the Lions.
Yeah, I would have taken the Lions defense, and I would have taken Pickens. So that's why I went ahead and got Likely, so I'd have options. I will take one player that I really like, and that is Zay Flowers, though.
Needed a wide receiver. You might as well spend some money somewhere.
Yep.
All right, Donnie, you get 2. You said you'd have quarterback, flex, defense, right?
Yes. Quarterback, flex.
Again, you can just wait and take your quarterback as your very last pick.
Yeah, that's what's going to end up happening. The question is, who do I want to be my flex?
Yeah, now you just got to figure out the salary. Like, if I were you, I'd plug in the quarterback you want and then see how much money you got left for defense and flex.
I've done that. I've done that already. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm just going to leave a lot of money on the table because I don't like the idea of playing the most expensive player on the board left. And I don't love the other plays either up here. So I think I'm going to end up leaving a lot of money on this table.
Some of us usually do end up leaving like $1,000 in our cage match. This is not
it's going to be more than 1,000. How many times did
take your shots, buddy.
Yeah, I'm taking the shot. I'm putting Worthy in there. 4,500 Worthy, and what is?
Sell people on the tournament upside of Worthy. Like, if you were going to build
8 targets, and now he's playing Dallas. That is the sell. He's playing Dallas defense, and he has 8 targets.
So you think he's would you play him over Jameson? Like that, it's similar range. Like you're building one up. You think?
I think if you said you have to flip a coin and you get one of the 2,
yeah,
I'm not upset about either of them. That's
I
where I'm at.
putting both of them in the lineup just because they both get work, and that big play hasn't landed in their lap in a while, but they've both gotten opportunities. They are 2 players that could win you a slate.
I just don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think these 2 teams are going to be kind of, want to punch each other in the mouth, and I have too much of the other games exposure-wise. So give me the Packers defense, 2,600. I know they weren't really a threat to be taken, though.
No, I mean, it would be malpractice for me to take them with my lineup, but I think the Packers could get there. We saw in Week 1 they gave the Lions a tornado over time. Some what their defense is worn off though. Actually, funny stat. I think the Lions have more fantasy points this year than the Packers do on defense. As weird as that sounds, but the Packers obviously have the pass rush to cause anyone trouble.
I honestly kind of expect that Detroit game to be I think the Lions either just win in a blowout or it's a low scoring affair. I don't think there's any way that the Lions get blown out. This is such a revenge narrative, in my opinion.
It is the lowest score, lowest total, of the week, which I thought was strange.
I don't see this being this is the Lions are going to give their best in it this upcoming Thursday. You are going to see the best possible Lions team, I think, imaginable.
Both are playing for a playoff, maybe a survival. With how good the Bears are playing, it's an important game, to say the least.
With the Niners winning last night, and then the Bears are playing so well, this is more so not even for playoff seeding. This is for playoff survival. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I as well like Shepard. I think Shepard's played so well as a defensive coordinator. To be honest with you, he could be up for a college job. He could easily get a promotion already. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions paid him some extra money to keep him. They've been really, really smart with their schemes recently. Gov, you have any thoughts?
Oh, I'm just looking at how I'm trying to go finish out my lineup because I'm leaving a bunch of money on the table.
Yeah, I can tell. You were giving me that deep brain, that galaxy brain look that you sometimes get. I knew there was a thought brewing somewhere in there.
But you get one more guy first.
Yeah, so I did leave
take a defense or a wide receiver.
I did leave myself open for the Pickens play. That would have been my play if he was available. You can see that would have left me enough money to get a defense. That was the idea. But obviously I'll have more money available now. With that being said, I want, and I don't think they've been taken, I want the Ravens defense.
Yeah, you can get them.
Joe Burrow, I feel like shouldn't be coming back. He is coming back. I don't know why, but he is. I feel like it's rushed. He's at least going to be rusty. And that offensive line, even when he was healthy, wasn't good. I think Cincinnati is by far the worst team on this slate. So you're going to give me the defense against the worst team without anything to play for. I like it.
Yeah, I will say that's just a bad play for one reason, because everyone else already had their defense.
So yeah, that's good. At this point, it doesn't. I'm not using the game theory element. I just wanted to talk about the Ravens first, so I want to make sure I got it in.
All right, so I get to finish out my lineup. God. So I guess I should just play David Montgomery, right?
Oh, that's right. Because, Government, you have the flex over, right? I'm going to switch over to your screen now. But
I'm not going to say anything on that Monty pick.
It wouldn't be the
who
worst
else is
thing.
Jacobs is available. Monty's
I either
available.
pay up for Jacobs, play Monty, or punt at running back.
What is the percent chance that Jacob plays in your mind? To me, it's 95%.
They're saying they expect him out there.
I don't know how good he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to be ramped up to 100%. If it's more of a token, we want you out there to kind of rah-rah the team, and we're going to give you this.
But to be fair, if somebody picks Jacobs, they can then switch it to Wilson due to injury stuff.
I think he will play, though. That's the thing is, I think he will play just maybe at a limited capacity.
The other real problem I see is I have the money actually to take Jacobs. If I took Jacobs, I would need to play a $3,000 wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I could pick a $3,000 wide receiver to play Jacobs. I have the money in place to do that. What I have left.
I was just talking more about
if I play Monty or a cheaper running back. Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave money on the table and be left on Jameson Williams. and I don't know if I want to do that. So it's like I'm going to leave a lot of money on the table because I think I need to just do the right correlated things that I want. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug in Yoshi.
He should get, because Higgins is out,
Yes.
right?
Yes, he is
that
already.
would have been Gesicki. I probably would have gone Gesicki instead of Kelsey if you wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah.
The cheap value tight ends, and then I would still probably play Jacobs in this lineup or something. But Jacobs against my defense was not something I was really trying to do. So like, if I do that, that then leaves me the money for Montgomery. Took Kareem Hunt on me, you asshole.
you have the Lions defense. You can bring that. You can have an little bring back with Montgomery.
Yeah, but since I'm just gonna take the spot that I thought was good, even if I can't have the guy I want. Give me Brashad Smith.
I'm really
breakout game on Thanksgiving.
It would be a good week for it. I'm surprised they haven't used him more. I would have smashed this guy in best ball had I had the opportunity or the round to take him. Like I thought where he was going in best ball contest was a steal. I ended up getting Royals who hasn't done anything. But I mean, just looking at hindsight, like it would have been a bad pick. But I really thought Smith had all the talent. I don't know why Andy Reid isn't using him. It would be a wonderful like Thanksgiving storyline that just to give him like 10 or 14 touches. I think he's talented enough for it, Gov. I don't know why he hasn't gotten used.
So if for some reason Burrow isn't in, I can go down to Flacco. If for some reason Pickens isn't in, I could play Robert Flournoy.
Yep.
Where is he?
He's down there.
3,200.
He's
a Dallas wide receiver. I like that's the thing. I can play a Dallas wide receiver that is not CeeDee Lamb.
He's a cheap guy that has gotten touchdowns this year that we haven't brought up that I think will be the cheap option for some people's lineups. Just from a game theory perspective, was there any players that you guys wanted to mention for a Thanksgiving slate? A sneaky play?
You got to finish your lineup, and then we'll talk about it.
Finish
your last player. Get your last player in.
Your last player, Logan. You can switch to your lineup and pick your last guy.
Yeah, I technically need to get my last player.
Who's your quarterback? Just let us know.
Hey, who else but Patrick Mahomes? He got it.
Yeah,
I mean, I have Hunt. I have Rice. I have
Mahomes. We played Burrow. We played Goff.
And no Lamar.
When I build my lineups, I think Dak and Lamar and Love are the ways to go, honestly.
My personal lineup, I actually played Lamar. So, funny enough, I didn't get there in the cage match, but I did play Lamar in my personal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Jameis Williams. I'm definitely going. The Lions have to score a lot.
You have your Detroit onslaught, yeah.
Yeah, I might as well do it because I'm already betting on them to score a lot of points. I probably would not.
That's why I went Worthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't play this in a tournament lineup, but I think it's safe and it's enough to beat two people. Like to me, this is more of a cash lineup than a GPP lineup.
Now, I did send a screenshot of my lineup.
Yeah. Why would you say this is a cash lineup, Logan?
Because it's got a safe floor, right? Like maybe not.
There's no ownership.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like maybe to Gibbs and St. Brown, but there's no ownership to any of these guys. I mean, likely. I think the tight ends, like the Andrews, will pull some ownership. I think Gibbs and St. Brown will be the guys who pull ownership from the early game. Looking at the totals, like I don't think this is the chalk game to have. You're going to be contrarian stacking Detroit.
Yeah, maybe you're right. See, I don't play enough cash games to really know. Like this, I'm just exposing myself as not a cash game player. I just think this is a cash lineup. You're probably 100% right. I would not go with an onslaught though if I was to build this team and put it in a tournament. But given we're doing a cage match, I feel like Jamison was the best option for
on a 3-game slate. I prefer to find a game to onslaught and build a lineup around it.
Yeah, I could see it, but it's more your style than mine. Donnie,
I did send the final screenshot of my lineup to the Discord, so if you want to pull that up. But also, how much salary did you have left, Gov?
Hold on one second. I have 1,400 left.
See, Logan has 2,300. I have 2,400. So,
honestly,
interestingly enough,
I could have gone P. Ryan and had 1,600. I could have gone down from Yoshi and played Worthy or Thornton or something else and left the 2K on the table.
Mm-hmm.
See, now, funny enough for me, the perfect switch. I don't think this lineup's awful for a cash lineup standpoint. If you just take Brown out and make that into a Jahmyr Gibbs, it perfectly fits. You just change the defense to Cincy or whatever, and then you barely leave any. It's so close to being completed, but I just could squeeze Gibbs in there instead.
I don't know why, but I thought I could get away with getting Flowers and Pickens. Maybe I should have done that before I took the Lockwood pick. But I still think my team has the best floor. This team is not bad, though. I think we drafted some really good teams here.
I think I don't think I have any player at any risk of taking zero. You have 2 players at risk of taking zeros. My lineup has no zero potential, period, point blank.
No, what do you mean? Gesicki is definitely a zero potential.
No, he is not.
Gesicki is not as honestly, if there's a dude on his lineup who would get him a zero, it'd be Christian Watson. If Love decides to throw to Dobbs and Wicks and Musgrave all day.
Gesicki hasn't scored a zero since that week he got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see Cincy just having a bad game.
With Burrow back, if the offense is just glitchy, I could see it too. I'm not
that.
But I don't I agree with Donnie. He basically could just go up from one dude at 24 to just a slightly better guy, go up to Gibbs, something. He could turn Worthy into Pickens or something like that.
Yeah, you could
any of that stuff. He's one dude away. My lineup, honestly, is probably the shaky one.
What's yours? What overall? What does it look like?
So it's Burrow, Henry, Brashad Smith, Chase, Pickens, Yoshi, Kelsey, Andrews. My 14 doesn't turn Yoshi into anyone that much better. Doesn't turn Brashad Smith into anyone that much better. I could still just play Montgomery or J-Mo if I want. Hell, I could have gone Montgomery and J-Mo in this lineup instead of Brashad Smith and Yoshi if I wanted to.
You're 14. You're 14.
I would have to make 2v2 pivots in this lineup.
Yeah, you would, because your 14 doesn't even get you from Andrews to Berg, so you don't even have
exactly. It doesn't really put me. The 14 doesn't really. Put me
it gets you from Smith to Hunt technically. Technically, that would be your one switch if you had to make one.
Yeah, it would be Brashad Smith to Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But that gets me off my 1-0 potential.
It does. No.
Although I guess Yoshi also has 0 potential in him. It's that's where the problem is.
Had so
my
many
last 2 guys in
week.
both have 0 potential, but so does Jamison Williams. So really I should be playing Montgomery for the non-0 potential and then just figuring out a dart throw wide receiver. But I like the lineup I have now. It's not changed. This will be the lineup. I will hit update entry, and it will be locked in this contest.
I will say, though, this is the only time I'm playing this lineup in this 3-man. I will not play this lineup anywhere else, not even in a free contest. But I will say by maybe 2:30, I'll know if I'm beating you guys or not. If the Lions game goes off, I don't think there's a chance you guys will be able to catch me. But
I don't know, because that Dallas game could go off easily.
It could. And I wanted Pickens. he would have been my next pick instead of Flowers. Because I was hoping to
I was planning on that being a Pickens, Lamb, Dak lineup.
Were you?
That was my plan coming into this.
Yeah. This is definitely starters and scrubs, though. Like, if I win, I think it's like an easy 25-point spread over you guys. But if I could easily finish third and put up the worst score of the three of us. So I feel like this is exactly the kind of lineup in terms of volatility that I normally build. But
your mistake was the second cheap tight end. You probably should have gotten Ferg instead. But
yeah, but I was saving enough for Pickens in the hopes that he would be there for me.
I can't believe he went as long as he did, to be fair. That was crazy.
Yeah. What I probably should have done is taken Pickens first and then seeing if I could have got Likely on the bring back. It's probably what I should have done. I'll put this on a bench just so we save it. It's always fun to track just to see how we do. Any last minute Thanksgiving tips for the people that you want to give?
Have fun. Be good with your family. That's what I'd say. Like, just have fun. It's Thanksgiving. There's a $5 millie. Let's all have fun.
Yeah. Be ready for some good football. Avoid political Uncle Larry for Thanksgiving this year.
Sorry, Larry. I got a DFS planet to sweat. I got to watch to see if Isaiah Likely or Mike Gesicki scored a touchdown. I don't got time to talk about politics today. Like, that's what or even if you're not a sports fan, which I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast, find some kids, find a nice reset.
Do not engage with political Uncle Larry.
That's good advice overall. Now, the thing is, though, because people will be at like Thanksgiving celebrations and things like that, do you think there's any advantage to like late swap opportunities or like, because usually we don't have a slate like this usually ever where it's like 3 games and they're like all 3 island games too. So I do feel like if you're down after the Lions games, there's pivots you could make. If you're up, there's chalk you could eat. So there is advantages, but to Gov's point, let's not sacrifice a few dollars being made here and there. Spend time with your family. Don't be, and just have fun with it. Because like I said, they did build this for casual watching. I mean, the salaries are more casual. They're built to have fun. So do the same. Always bet responsibly as well. Happy Thanksgiving or however you celebrate. Take care. Drive safe. Be safe. See you guys later.
Peace out, everyone.